Jonathan Frakes, you shut your mouth. No, really, Frakes, I'm tired of this crap. I'm really, really tired of this crap. I'm tired of them taking shots at people who complain about it. You should be happy anybody's watching it. You should be thanking us for even promoting your crap trek show. Also, thank you so much, Adonis Smith. Holy crap, $40 super chat. Holy crap. Hope you're doing well this Wednesday. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. And of course, Jiggle Cam activated for... We are in the middle of a live stream clipping this, so if you guys see stuff popping up, that's from awesome people like you. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are just so humbling. Now I'm going to have to take a second to compose myself on what was I saying. Are things that I can't remember. But Rosetta, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Can someone remind Frakes that the people who grew up watching him and gave him this career are tired of being bashed? Yes, exactly. Also, Jiggle Cam. We're tired of you guys taking shots at us. You guys should be thanking us for even watching this garbage, because the more I talk about it, guess what? My negative reviews of Picard are just going to, and I know this, I'm not a dumb person. That's why I over-exaggerate it, because you know what? People's taste is subjective. And if I absolutely hate everything about Murder Trek and everything they've done with it, then maybe somebody else might not see it that way. Maybe somebody will be like, oh, screw her, she's just a hater, I'm going to go watch it. That is why I'm allowed to continue this stuff, because they know that bad press is just the same as good press, and then I'm going to be out there talking about it, and I know that, and this is what I want with Star Trek. I want people to be talking about it. I want people to be having the discussion to make it better, because you know what? You have a responsibility to give me Star Trek, especially if we're paying you money for it, especially with the type of big bucks that these convention people charge. And this is the true, honest to goodness reason why there are new Star Trek shows. It is to appease the convention cliques of the people who have been going in the past few years, where they make it more about activism and more about the new clique of people. It's more about that. It's more about them saying, hey, and we have all these LGBT representative people out there in New Trek. Which is excluding to everybody else who never had an issue with any of this thing in So, come on, Star Trek, for crying out loud. Used to be groundbreaking, used to be diverse, used to be actually progressive. But no. They have to appease this little crowd of people who are not quite interesting enough to be cosplaying as Princess Leia in a gold bikini. They're not quite interesting enough to be in, like, the popular people fandoms. So no, they go and migrate to Star Trek, because Star Trek is more accepting and better. At least we used to be. And now I'm kind of at the point where, you know what, fine. And this is why I never really got into the convention circuits and the group stuff and the fandoms anyway. I like what I like, and then I move on to the next thing that I like. And if it's something that I usually don't like, I usually don't take the time to make a video about how much I don't like it, unless it really offends me personally, unless it's something where I feel insulted. And with something like Star Trek, that's where it really crossed the line for me, and that's when I went from being a gaming channel to a YouTuber talking about Star Trek and Star Wars and pop culture and all this garbage that I'm seeing. And anytime these celebrities come after the fans, because you know they do. White male rage, white male rage, white male rage. And Rosetta, $2 super chat, thank you so much. No hope, no wonder, no exploration. Then it's not ST. It's not Star Trek. No, it's not. It's not. Also, Jiggle Cam, thank you so much. No, we're not just watching it to make sure we hate it. We were hoping you would fix it. We were hoping you people would have learned something from the 2 years we were doing this with Discovery. You have people like me, who was a gaming channel, who said, wait a minute, Discovery is so bad, I gotta say something about it.
I like science.
You shut your mouth, Spock. You're not even real Spock. And the problem with Star Trek is very, very simple. It can be summed up in the clips that I use. Fucking hubris. That is the problem with Star Trek, is that they have the gall to think that they're talking and telling us something that we need to know because we're wrong, because we're so misguided, because we're a bunch of ists and foes. And it went from something inspirational to something preachy and to something where they're talking down to the viewer. And this is the exact same thing, buddy. And don't you dare talk down to me. You used to be one of the decent ones. You used to be one of the good ones. And here's the thing. I never had issues or dealt with the actors on the show. My issues have always been with the writing, the behind the scenes stuff. And yes, I've accidentally been tagged into and responded to things with the actors in them and have resulted in getting into it with people like Anthony Rapp, getting followed by Brent Spiner either fat fingering me or whatever to immediately being blocked by him. And I still have the screenshot on my phone of like, what? Brent Spiner followed me. That's not real. That's not going to be a thing, because don't they know that anybody who associates with me gets blacklisted from their convention circuit? And like I said before, this is all this is. This goes back right to the convention circuit. This whole thing. Anybody on the current Star Trek are the people who are the favorites of the conventions. You'll have a few people who've been blacklisted from these things, or a few people who have been excluded from these conventions over the years because they've either said something that the convention people took offense to and they've decided to cancel them, because the convention circuit is a bunch of you-know-who type of people. You know who? The SJW types. Those type of people who like to censor and control and male bash and white people, that type of stuff. The people who want to bring everything into political stuff. And every second they get a chance to, they're bringing in Orange Man Bad, politics ball, from British cast members like Jason Isaacs on Discovery, who shouldn't have anything to say about American politics ball. Sorry, you're British. Go away, Jason. You go, you know what? I'll go tell you what to do with the Queen, and then you can tell me what to do with whatever president I didn't vote for. Kay, what does he have to say now? I didn't even read the article. Number one actor Jonathan Frakes recently appeared on GalaxyCon's Facebook live stream. During this conversation, the actor and director discussed plenty of issues related to Star Trek. One that stuck out was his views on fans who are critical of CBS's all-access Star Trek Picard. Well, guess what? Our money, we can criticize it all we want. Yeah, Kay, all right. You want to refund every dime everybody spent on this and tell us to shut our mouths? Then you go right ahead, buddy. I got a PayPal link in the description below if you want to give me that money back. And also, you can refund me the 6 nights at the hotel at the Rio and the gold captain's chair tickets. You can do that as well. All right. If you do not want me as a customer, it means my money. But guess what? As long as I'm spending money on this, I'm going to complain about it. And it was a lot of money. And I'm going to complain a lot. And it was a lot of you guys' money because you guys shipped in a good chunk of that from the GoFundMe that I used for it. As long as they give all that money back, then yes, I will. And you can also refund every DVD I've purchased. There have been a lot of them over the years. There have been a lot of them. Every single series. Those were about $100 a pop. 7 seasons, Jonathan. Okay? Let's do a running toll of what you can pay me back if you don't want me to complain about your show, Jonathan. I will send you a bill. I'm not above it. I'll send him a bill for everything Star Trek related. If they don't want me in their fandom, they can just refund my money. I got 7 seasons of TNG. I got 7 seasons of Voyager. I got 7 seasons of DS9. I got 3 seasons of TOS sitting there. I have all the movies up until the 2009 movie. I have that one too. So he can refund. And I've got the animated series sitting on the shelf behind me. I've got countless toys, props. You can just refund all of that money to me, Jonathan. And you know what? I bought the Laserdisc of First Contact. I bought posters at the convention, too. I've got Tribbles. It wasn't a convention. It was a premiere that we had. They had like a little display table out for opening night for First Contact. You can pay me back for those, too. I believe those are $30 a pop. So you can pay me back for those. And yeah, I'm talking from 1997 when I went and saw that in the theater. You can pay me back all of that, or you can shut your goddamn mouth and thank me for watching your show and talking about it and keeping it in the public opinion. He discussed fans who are critical of the show while reflecting on his own experiences during the convention circuit. I almost read that as cult, because it's a convention cult. They have people who criticize people like me who go to a Star Trek convention for my YouTube channel. And then these are the same people who wish death upon William Shatner. Oh yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you because I know you're still watching my videos because you're still talking about me from time to time. Little Miss Batleth chick. And They favor those people who go to convention and work as cheerleaders at Star Trek Las Vegas and then complain and you go fummies to pay the rent. So those are the people they favor. The people who will break themselves to go to their conventions to get their $100 autographs and their $100 photo ops. And these are the people who spend big bucks every year to go and stay there in Las Vegas. And that is their preferred people. And you know what? I'm tired of that. I'm tired of this. Why is their money better than mine? And I guess if it is, you can just give it all back. You can just give me all my money back. He told a story about his first convention right after the premiere of Next Generation and the hostile crowd he faced. Bullshit. At the beginning of the discussion, Frakes asked about what it's like to enter a weird, strange world of fandom. He answered, the first convention ever I did was in Syracuse, New York, and it was the winter of '87, so I was 8 years old back then. And the show, I think, had started in September, so the audience was very hardcore original series audience. They were skeptical. They were suspicious. Yeah, skeptical and suspicious. It is not people who started whole YouTube channels and careers about it. Keep in mind, I didn't go to you people. I didn't go to you people to say, hey, your show's stupid. I didn't do any of that with Discovery, so don't you fucking blame me for it. They were generally not terribly interested and completely unfamiliar with new Star Trek, which had a bald English captain with a French name and an entirely new cast. They wanted Kirk, Spock, and Bones. He elaborated, I had no idea what the world I had entered was going to be like, and I had no idea what the experience was going to be like. I was a nervous wreck. This conversation then goes into Fran's experience as Captain America before it brought back to Star Trek. Around the 22-minute mark, Frakes is asked about when Star Trek the original series fans began to embrace the Next Generation cast and show. Frakes responded, I don't think it was around the second or third year when the show got really good. Yeah, but it always started out pretty decent. It was never as bad as Discovery. I can sit there and I can watch TNG season 1 and 2, and there's some pretty darn good episodes in there. There is not pretty darn good episodes in Discovery or Picard. There's nothing redeemable in there. You have one line that's good in Picard, and that's only because it's bringing back Riker. It's bringing back the characters we actually give a crap about, and it's not changing the characters. And furthermore, if these shows are as strong as you say they are, Frakes, you wouldn't need to bring in old characters like Picard. What did they do? What did they not do in TNG? They didn't rely on making a whole show out of a pre-existing cast. You didn't have Kirk on the bridge of the Enterprise for every episode in TNG. Now, did you? No, you didn't. You have Picard that needs Picard to star in it. Discovery was so bad you had to bring in Spock.
I like science.
Shut up, Spock.
This is so fucking cool.
It is fucking cool.
So sorry.
You should be sorry, Tilly. Yeah, and I remember we did 26 a year. That was a lot. It's 50 or 60 shows in. Yeah, 50 or 60 shows in. But you started off okay. It started off pretty good. And no, people weren't that upset with it. There's people, like, this is why I usually have Rob from Midnight's Edge on, because he was there when this premiered. He watched DOS. He was there, and this is all BS spin to justify why people don't like it now. It is the power of persuasion. It is the power of marketing that they're using this, and shame on you, Frakes, for still running with that narrative. You're just trying to excuse the show's crap now by saying, oh yeah, it was always bad. And I'm tired of this argument. This is the same NPC argument that I hear over and over and over again. And yeah, I'm older than I look. I was around then. I wasn't going to conventions. I've never been sucking the dicks of these cruise cast, any of this stuff. Because you know what? You make a show, I watch it or I don't. Until you insult me and you change it so much that I feel like I gotta rant about it. Frakes then discussed the reception to Discovery, but my friends at Discovery, which I was privileged to be part of and still am, there are a very similar vibe with that show came out. Oh no, there wasn't. He says there was a very similar vibe when Discovery came out to TNG. People, they didn't want to find room in their hearts for another Star Trek. Which there clearly is. No, it's not that I didn't want to find room for another Star Trek. This is why I love the Orville. This isn't the issue. The issue isn't that it's another Star Trek, because if that were the case, why do I like the Orville so much? Right? After I've been insulted and blocked and told that I'm a this or that I'm an Easterophobe. No. Just because I complain about this character, Right here, just because I complain about this character, people call me an ist. Sorry, it wasn't calling the color of her skin anything wrong. I was saying the character's garbage, and this character would be garbage if it were played by Jonathan Frakes itself, because it's a smug, arrogant character that doesn't need to exist and is only there to be member berries for Spock.
Remember Chewbacca again? Oh, I love to remember Chewbacca.
They're so cute, little member berries. He then touched on Picard, and one of the reasons that was not a factor in launching a Picard because the hardcore fans love Picard, and yeah, look at what you did to the hardcore fans of Picard, or 7 of 9. I have people who would never watch me otherwise, people who like Discovery, who tell me, you ruined 7 of 9. I used to look up to her, and now she is a murderer, drinker, who jumps in and out of bed with people who are problematic, alright? That is the problem with modern Star Trek, is you ruin existing characters for people. I have a lot of people who are watching my Picard videos who would never watch anything else of mine because they would think, oh, you're just a hater, you just are this or that. And now they're seeing exactly what I saw in Discovery when they ruined Spock, and exactly what I saw in Picard when they started ruining all these new characters.
Shut the fuck up.
I will not shut the F up, Admiral Hubris. They were inclined to look forward to the show and look forward to having him and look forward to whatever the story because they knew him and they knew who he was. Yeah, I was looking forward to you guys actually fixing it and listening to my complaints and listening to some of us saying, hey, don't bring in real world garbage political nonsense and ideologies into Star Trek, because if you're going to do a political sort of message, do it the way Star Trek would have, not the way, all these modern crappy new shows would do it that don't have an understanding of how to actually inspire people instead of just preach to people. And that's the problem. They just want to preach, and now they're still doing it. Well, maybe you should listen to me preach at you for once. And I think the familiarity with all the fandom is so important. It's like the canon of these shows. They want a touch point. Exactly, that's what it is. And it's important and clearly works because Picard was wonderful. Then how come I have so many people who say they love Discovery and they hated Picard because of what they did? A lot of them. Countless people. How come we're still talking about it? How come they're still complaining about it? Some argue that the familiarity that Frakes is talking about isn't there with Picard since the show has aired. Many fans have expressed their concerns. Me, one of them. Script Doctor, I see his video there. Shout out to Script Doctor. Since the show has aired, many fans have expressed their concern that Picard is not the Picard they know, and the world the show inhabits is not Star Trek. Instead, it's a hollow and expensive CGI version of Star Trek. No, it's Star Trek in name only. It's Star Trek in references. It's Star Trek in remember this, remember that.
Remember Alex?
Arthur Fleck in chat. To be honest, I don't even remember much of Picard anymore outside of memes. And that was by design. They throw so much information at the screen. It's called the Shelby method. They throw so much information at screen, you can only really pay attention to one or two things of it. So by the time you stop and question, they've already moved on to 20 other things. YouTuber Script Doctor notes that many of the problems with Picard are easy to see with its inconsistent story, plot holes, and cheap writing techniques. They're used to hide the obvious rewrites and reshoots. Exactly. And listen to him, he knows. He's an actual writer. And Gary from Nerdotic points out that Patrick Stewart told Variety that Picard was saying, the world of Next Generation doesn't exist anymore. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've done many videos on that, too. Gary Beekler goes on to note that Star Trek's current course chooses to ignore Gene Roddenberry's views of a hopeful future. Instead, what you get is in-your-face propaganda that's been thrown at fans for years now. It's the same crap. Finally, the million-dollar question was asked. Host Mike Broder brings up that there are a number of Star Trek fans who are unhappy with Picard. Frake responds, but they'll watch it. They're watching just to make sure they hate it. No, I'm watching it to tell you how to fix it. Get it through your head. We're telling you people exactly how to fix it. And just because I'm louder and I swear more than my other colleagues here on YouTube, and that's probably why I don't get listened to as much. They're like, oh, she's just a high. Yeah, and I use a writing crop for emphasis because sometimes you need it. And sometimes we're not the problem. Sometimes it's you, buddy. And you know what? I'll shut up when you give me all my money back. Okay? They do this so they can keep being invited to the convention circuits, because the conventions pay most of their money. Most of these people don't really work outside of the conventions, and that is where they earn most of their money, because they go from convention to convention. They do 3 or 4 a year, and that's their income. And then they might do like a guest shot here on there, or the Orville or something, and Frakes directs from time to time. But no, the majority of these people's income is the Star Trek conventions. So they have to cater to what the higher ups say, and they say, we're going with this direction. These are the fans we're trying to please. Anybody else are just noise and complaining. Anybody else are just haters. Anybody else are just watching because they want to make sure they hate it. And that is not the case. That's not the case. I watch it so I can tell you guys exactly how to fix it, exactly what's wrong with it, and it's not my fault. You guys aren't quite smart enough to hear that. Whew. No more cons for them. Yeah, I'm serious. I want my money back from Frakes. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments section when you see this later, and if you're in the stream, tell me.